Brachos of his children. We're at the bottom of Daf Tezayin Amud Beis, Rav Safra Basar Tzloisei. The Gemara here is right in the middle of describing different tefillos that the Tanoim or Amirayim would say when they conclude a davening Shemoneh Esrei. This is what we say at tefillah at the end of Shemoneh Esrei, which is one of them, as we'll see soon. We say L'kai Netzair. But the Gemara here brings different Amirayim, what they would say when they would conclude Shemoneh Esrei. We're at the bottom of Tezayin Amud Beis. Earlier on. The next page at the bottom, very last line. Zok the Gemara, Rav Safra Basar Tzloisei, Rav Safra, when he would conclude Shemoneh Esrei, Amar Hachi, he said as follows, the very last line. You should bring about peace in the groups of malachim that exist above in the spiritual worlds. And in the groups that exist here below. Of course, the source of everything that happens in this physical world comes from above. So we ask of Hashem that He should make peace there above and then bring about peace here below. And also peace amongst the Talmidim that are learning Torah. Bein Eiskin L'Shma, whether they are learning for the sake of the Torah itself. Bein Eiskin Shalei L'Shma, whether they learn not for the sake of Torah, they learn for any ulterior motive. V'chala Eiskim Shalei L'Shma, and then he would conclude and say, and all those that learn Torah Shalei L'Shma, Yihiratzen may be or will Shiyu Eiskin L'Shma, that they should learn Torah L'Shma. The Maharsha says, when it says before Shalei L'Shma, and now it says that we daven for those that are not learning Lishma, that they should learn Lishma. It's not talking about the same level of Shalei Lishma. There's a level Shalei Lishma where a person learns for an ulterior motive, for honor or to make money or whatever. On that we say, La'olam yilmed adam Torah Shalei Lishma, that you may or even should learn Torah Shalei Lishma. Then there's a person that learns Torah Shalei Lishma. He's only learning Torah because he wants to disprove somebody else. And he's totally not doing the Torah, learning Torah for the sake of Torah. Or he's learning Torah and he doesn't even fulfill what he learns in Torah. So in that case, we daven that may we be the will of Hashem that he should learn Torah L'Shma. Reb Alexandri, Basar Tzloisei, when he concluded davening Shemoneh Esrei, Amar Hachi, he said the following prayer. You should place me in a corner of light. I should not be in a place of darkness. And I should not have pain in my heart. I should not have darkness in my eyes. That was his prayer. Others say, this was the prayer of Rav Amnuna. Rav Alexandri, when he completed davening, he said something different. Master of the universe, it's revealed and known to you. It is our desire to fulfill your will. Who is preventing us of fulfilling Hashem's will? The yeast that there is in the dough, which is the chametz, the Yetzer Hara, which is in the heart of the person, prevents a person of doing the mitzvahs. V'shibud malchiyus, and the fact that we are subjugated by the governments, by the kingdom that we live under. So when you read the statement, of course, if you learn Chassidus, you know when it says here, Golav Yidul L'Fenecha, Sheritzeneinu Lasses Ritzayncha, what it's saying is, every Yid essentially has the will and desire to do what Hashem wants. And if externally he doesn't express it, it's only an external part of the Yid. But in essence, the soul of the Yid wants to do what Hashem wants. And then the next part, the Maharsha explains that there are two things that prevent a person of doing what Hashem wants. It's either the person's gaiva, his ego that is out of control, or it's the opposite, that he's being thrown down and he feels demoralized because of the fact that we are being subjugated by the government that we live under. So we daven to Hashem, shetatzilenu miyodam, save us from their hands, v'noshuv lases chuker etzinecha b'leivav shalom. We should return to fulfill your mitzvahs with a full heart. Rav Basar Tzloisei Omar Hachi. Rav, when he completed davening, he would say as follows. And this is what we say in Yom Kippur at the time that we say the Al-Chetz, after the Al-Chetz. Elekai at shalei neitzarti, before I was created, eini kedai, I wasn't deserving. V'achshav sheneitzarti, and now that I've been created, ki'ilu lo neitzarti, I'm still not deserving. My actions still don't live up to what I'm supposed to be doing. Ofarani b'chaya, even while I'm alive, I'm still compared to dust. Kal v'chaymer b'misasi, how much more so after I pass away. I'm like a vessel filled with embarrassment. So this is the first part of the prayer where the person is basically confessing his level that he's on and telling Hashem he's embarrassed of his sins.
What is the word chlima?
Chlima and busha are very similar words. If anyone has the art scroll translation for the difference, you'll see. But it's very similar. Shame and humiliation. Okay. Yiratzim L'fanecha Hashem Elokai Shelo Yachtoid, may it be your will that I should not sin again. Oid Umashachatasi L'fanecha, and what I did sin, Meroik Merachamecha, we say Mechaik, or Meroik Berachamecha Harabim, you should wash it off with your great mercy. Avaloi Al Yidei Yisurim V'chaloim Royim, but not through pain or any bad sicknesses. V'hainu Vidoy de Rav Amnuna Zuti B'yayim de Kippuri. This is what Rav Amnuna Zuti would say at the time of Vidoy and Yom Kippur, and this is what we say every hour after the Al-Chet and Yom Kippur. Ma B'rei de Ravina Ki Avim Mesayim Sloisei, when he completed Shemay Nesra Omar Hachi, he said as follows, and this is more or less the nusach that we say today. Elikai Mitzor L'Shayni Meira, guard my tongue from speaking bad. V'sifsai my lips midabe mirma, from speaking deceit. And those that curse me, nafshi, those that curse me, nafshi sidaim, my soul should remain silent. The nafshi ka'afar la'kailtiyeh, and my soul should be to everybody like dust. Psach libi b'seidesecha, open up my heart to Torah. So the pshat of nafshi ka'afar la'kailtiyeh, why is a person davening that his soul should be like dust? What's positive about that? So if you look in the Mefarshim, there's a few pshatim. The two pshatim that I saw is, just like dust is something that remains forever, so too a person is davening that his soul should give birth to children and descendants that will remain forever. Another pshat I saw, and this is from the earlier Mefarshim, they say nafshi kafala kailtia means just like dust. People step on the dust, but then eventually those people that step on the dust is above them after they're buried. So to a person davens, the people that step up on me, I should be on top of them like the dust. Okay, that's another pshat. But as I'm sure you all know, that this statement... Okay, there's a chair available? Okay. But as I'm sure you know, in Chassidus, this statement of nafshi that we say every day, 3 times a day, nafshi kafala kailtiyeh, psach libi b'seidesecha, is brought and is interpreted kipshutai. Nafshi kafala kailtiyeh is a person expressing the deepest and greatest bittul that he has to Hashem. That he's like dust. He sees himself like dust in front of Hashem, absolute bittul. And therefore we say, right after it says, Nafshi kafala kailtiyeh, when a person davens to Hashem, that I should have the ability to experience real bittul to Hashem, following that we say, Psach libi b'seidesecha. If you truly want to have your heart open to Torah, and it says specifically libi, your heart, not just understanding the ideas of Torah, but to really be open to the godliness in the Torah. Teiresecha, that's if you have bittul. If a person doesn't have bittul and you learn Torah, you just take the subject that you're learning, but your heart is not open to Torah secha. So that's the flow of these two things, of nafshi ka'afar, and only then psach libi b'Torah secha. And then we continue over mitzvah secha tirdef nafshi. My soul should run after mitzvahs. V'tatzileni mi pegara. I should be saved from a pegara, from a bad accident, from a yetzara, from a yetzahara, from a bad wife, from a kol rois, from a misrakshis, love ba'ilam, or any difficult and bad things that come in the world. V'chala chayshrim alayra, anyone that's thinking or planning bad things on me. Meheira, immediately hafirat sasam, disturb their plans. V'kalka machshavtam, and destroy their ideas. And then we conclude, which is, by the way, this Yil Ratzin we say twice. If you remember, we had earlier in the Gemara that Chacham wa Mesakin, that we begin with Hashem's Sfasei Tiftach, and we conclude Shemay Nesra with Yil Ratzin. So right after the Shemay Nesra, Bashalai, we say Yil Ratzin. And then in addition, we say Yil Ratzin again, as part of this prayer, this additional prayer that Mar Berei de Ravina said. So therefore we say Yil Ratzin twice. Rav Sheshis ki Ave Yosef betanisa. Rav Sheshis, when he would fast, Basa de Matzli, after he finished davening on a day of a fast, Omar Hachi, he would say as follows: Riboy Noilamim, Master of the universe, Gali lefanecha. It's revealed in front of you that Bismanche Beis Hamikdash Kayam. When the Beis Hamikdash was standing, Adam Chayte o Makriv Karben, a person sinned and would come and would bring a carbon, ve'ein makrivim mimenu, and you would not sacrifice from the carbon itself, that is, elachelboi v'damai. Only the fats and the blood were sprinkled or burnt on the mizbeach. And the person had an atonement through this carbon. Now what happens? Va'achshov. Now today we don't have a Beis Hamikdash. Yoshavti b'tainis. I sat the whole day today in a fast. V'nismayet chelbi v'dami, which minimized the fats and blood in the circulation that is in my body. Yiratzim ulfanecha, may it be your will, chelbi v'dami shenismayet, the fats and blood that has been minimized through today's fast. Ki'ilu hikraftiv l'fanecha al gabi ha-mizbeach, as if it's been brought, sacrificed on the mizbeach with tirtzeni, and you should accept this from me like a carbon. So as you see, we move on over here. We're not anymore talking about prayers that are said after Shemay Nesra, but we move on to prayers that Amiroim said on different occasions. Rabbi Yochanan, ki ave Messiahim Sifra de Iyov. Rabbi Yochanan, when he concluded the Sefer of Iyov, which of course is a story of the life of Iyov, which had a lot of pain and suffering during his lifetime. But as Rashi here says, when he passed away from the world, he passed away with a shem tov. He passed away with a good reputation. After everything he experienced, he passed away with a shem tov. So therefore, Omar, Hachi, Rabbi Yochanan said as follows: Soif Adam, the end of every human being is Lamus, that he passes away. V'soif Behema, the end of every animal is L'shchita, that he slaughtered. V'hakaylam Misay Maimdim, everything eventually will pass away. Will either, whether human or an animal. So now, Ashrei Misha Godel Batayre, fortunate is the one that when he grows with Tayre in his life, V'amale Batayre, and he toils in Tayre, V'oisa Nachas Ruach LeYitzray, and he focuses on giving pleasure to his Creator, V'godal B'Shem Tov, and throughout his life, he grows, he matures with a good name, with a good reputation, V'nifter B'Shem Tov Min Ha'olam, and when he passes away from the world, he keeps his good reputation to the day that he passes away from the world. All of Omar Shleima, and regarding this individual, Shleima Melech says, Toiv Shem, Mishem and Toiv, a good name, a good reputation is better from the best oil. V'yoyim Moves Miyoyim Volde, especially having that good name on the day that you pass away, more than when you're born, when everyone is so excited on the birth of a new baby, but to keep that reputation on the day till the day that you pass away.
That's a pretty low bar.
Why is it a low bar? A good reputation.
Somebody's born and they have there's no reputation.
But there's an excitement, there's a happiness of a new baby, and look how beautiful the new baby is. So a person should retain that beauty of the purity of the newborn baby to the day that he passes away. Now the Gemara will bring various different statements from Tanaim and Amirayim that they were accustomed to saying all the time. Rab Meir was accustomed to saying the following thing: Learn Torah with all your heart and all your soul. Ladas as drachai, to know my ways, to know Hashem's ways. V'lishkaid al dalse terasi, and be diligent and to learn and to come to the doors of Torah. Nitzar terasi, keep my words of Torah belipcha in your heart. V'neged einecha tia yerasi, and in front of your eyes should always be my fear. Shmoir picha mikol chet, guard your mouth from any sin. V'tayr v'kadesh atzmacha mikol ashma v'ovein, purify and sanctify yourself from any sin. V'ani eya imcha b'chol machin, and then Hashem says, I will be with you in every place you go. It was customary to the Rabbanon of the city Yavne to say as follows: Ani Beria, I am a creation of Hashem. They were referring to themselves. Their main occupation was to learn Torah, and they would say, Ani Beria, I am a creation of Hashem. V'chaveri Beria, and my friends that are not occupied with learning Torah all day are also a creation of Hashem. As we'll see right now, the Gemara they're talking about their friends that are not occupied in learning Torah all day. Ani, I melachti beir, I have an easier job. My work is in the city. In the Bismedrash, actually. They're sitting and learning Torah in the Bismedrash. V'hu, my friend, that's also a creation of Hashem, malachtei besada. His work is out in the field. Ani mashkim ula malachti, I wake up early for work to go and learn Torah. V'hu mashkim ula malachta. And my friend, the creation of Hashem, also wakes up early to go for his work. Kishem shehu einem izgada b'malachti. Now, just like I don't try to enter into his territory to go into his work, I'm happy with the Torah that I learn and to remain in my profession. Kach, let me say that over again, very good. Kishem shehu einem mizgada b'malachti, just like my friend, which is busy working from early in the morning, does not try to come into my territory to learn Torah. So too, I don't look to go out of the Beis Medrash and to go into his territory, to go into the field where he's working. So now the statement continues that they would say, and this is the way Rashi teaches this, V'shema toimar. Now you may say that their attitude that they have, that they do what I do. They're just like I'm not interested in going into their territory. They don't want to come into my territory. You may say that they have a point. They're right. And why would that be? Shemet Taimar ani marbe. I have the time to learn Torah, so therefore it makes sense that I should dedicate my time to learning Torah. But v'hu mamit. If he that's working out on the field all day would want to come into my territory to learn Torah, he'll have very little time to learn Torah. So there's no point of him trying to come into my territory to learn Torah, and therefore he's right not entering into my place of learning. So the answer is no, they're making a mistake. Because Shaninu, we learned in the Mishnah, Echad HaMarbe ve'Echad HaMamid, whether one has a lot of time to learn Torah and whether one has only a little time to make a share to learn Torah, they're both equally as valuable. The main thing is that what you're doing is doing it for the sake of Hashem. So therefore, the fact that I don't enter into their territory is correct, because these are the Talmidei Chacham that dedicate their time for learning. But the people that are out for work should go into the territory of those that are learning in the Beis Medrash.
Yeah, another way to read that.
Huh?
Is there another way to read
I'm reading you the Pshat of Rashi. You can look into Rashi. There may be another way, but this is Rashi's Pshat. Abaye would be customary for him to say the following. A person has to always be arum. How would I teach arum? You should be shrewd. What's the word they say there? Cunning. A person should be cunning in his fear of Hashem. When it comes for a person to fear Hashem, you have to sometimes be very cunning when you're dealing with the Yetzer Hara, to find ways how to retain your fear of Hashem. Maybe you could connect to this the famous story of the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe told a chassid, I don't remember the exact details, but the gist of the story is the Alter Rebbe told a chassid when he goes out into his workplace and he comes in contact with all kinds of things that are maybe inappropriate for a chassid, and it's hard for him to hold his standards. So you told him, use your chassidische gaiva, use your pride as a Jew, even though gaiva is usually a negative thing. But use your gaiva. Me, the big chassid of the Alter Rebbe, the respectable person, would go and do such a thing. So sometimes you have to speak to the Yetzer Hara in a way that only then will he understand what you're saying in order to have your yireh wherever you're going. The continuation of what Abaye would say, Meine Rach, this is a pasuk which is in Mishlei, and there in Mishlei it says, Yoshev Chema, that when a person responds softly, that dispels anger. When a person approaches you with anger, speak softly. And you respond softly, it gets rid of anger. Omar b'shalom emechov, increase peace amongst your brothers, v'im kroivav, with your relatives, v'im kol adam, with all people, v'afilem nachri. Even if you encounter a guy, you should greet him greet him and bring shalom. B'shuk, in the marketplace. Kidei sheyehei ov l'maylo, v'nechmod l'mata, you should be loved above by Hashem, and you should also be nechmod, you should be pleasant here below, v'hei mekubal ala brius, and you should be accepted amongst all people. Amru alav Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. It was said about Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Shalahi Gdimai Adam Shalom Me'olam. Nobody ever said Shalom, a hello to him, never greeted him. He always greeted people before they had a chance to greet him, including a guy in the marketplace. I think there's a famous story that they say about the Rebbe, that the Rebbe would greet everybody by bowing his head, but when there was a guy, the Rebbe would greet by saying good morning or hello, or not, or with his hand, or not bowing his head. And the Rebbe explained afterwards to someone that questioned the Rebbe about it, that he never will bow his head to a guy. So that he greets a guy, but with a good morning or something else, but not bowing his head. It was customary for Rava to say, Tachlis Chochma, the purpose of the wisdom of the Torah that we learn is tshuva ma'asim tovim, is to do tshuva and to do mitzvahs. A person should not learn Torah, but then rebel against his father and mother, and his teacher. Is someone that's greater than him, whether in wisdom, or someone that has a group of people that he's learning with, and they may make a psak with their numbers that they have and is greater than you in that sense. You should not rebel. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Reishis Chochmah. What's the beginning? What's the main thing of Chochmah? Yiras Hashem is to fear Hashem. Seichel Teiv. When you learn the Seichel, the understanding of Torah, L'chol Oiseyem. So the pasuk concludes, Oiseyem, to fulfill, to do the mitzvahs that you've learned in the Torah. Lo'oisim, or another girsa is Lo'oiseyem, L'loim Deim, sorry. Another girsa here is L'loim Deim Lo'inema. It does not say Seichel Teiv, or you have good Seichel to those that learn. Ela Lo'oiseyem. It says Oiseyem, saying that the main thing is the performance, the fulfillment of the mitzvah. The Gemara concludes, La'oisim Lishma, and this refers to the people that learn Torah Lishma. V'loi la'oisim shalei Lishma. This does not refer to people that learn Torah shalei Lishma. And even more so, the Gemara says, V'chala oiseh shalei Lishma. Anybody that is learning Torah or doing mitzvahs, not for the sake of the mitzvah, noyach loi shaloi nivra. It would have been better that he's not created, which is a very strong statement. And this is connected to the point that I mentioned earlier. Taisus explains it. Taisus asks the question. We know that la'olam yilmed adon Torah shalei lishma. A person should learn Torah and do mitzvahs shalei lishma. B'teich shalei lishma v'lishma. So Taisus answers that this is speaking about an individual that learns Torah only for the purpose to refute what someone else said, and he has absolutely no interest in the learning at all. Or another pshat that Rashi says in another place, a person that's loymit shalei al manas la'asai. So he learns, and he's specifically learning with the intention not to fulfill what he's learning.
Baal Shem Tov says with teich, but in the teich...
It's the Baal Shem Tov pshat?
I think, no?
Not sure. It's brought in the Rebbe Sichos, and I'm not sure if there's a source of it before the Rebbe. The Rebbe says that the teich of the shalei lishma brings you to lishma. Correct. I wanted to chazar another word from the Rebbe here. This is a very famous statement. Margele b'pumi de Rove. There is a famous mimer of the Frierdiker Rebbe that was said by the Drushe Chasana of the Rebbe, and there's a famous mimer from the Rebbe that the Rebbe said in the year of Tavshim Mem, which is 40 years ago, just about. And then, just to say one point that the Rebbe says in that mimer, that the Tachlis Chochmas Tshuva Ma'asim Tovim, the simple pshat of the Gemara is, the purpose of learning Torah is to afterwards go ahead and fulfill what you learned. But the Rebbe is medayik that if you take a look into Rashi, Rashi says a bit of a different pshat. Tachlis Chachma, Rashi says, Ikra Shal Torah. What is the main thing of Torah itself? Not only what is the purpose of Torah, what is the Ikra of Torah? And the Rebbe explains that when it says here that you should be fulfilling mitzvahs and not just learning, what the statement of Rava was saying is that if you want to get to the Ikra, to the essence of the Torah, if you want to really connect to the source of Torah and not just to the Seichel of the Torah, how is that when you fulfill mitzvahs and tshuva, ma'asim tovim? So then it's not only an additional thing following your learning of Torah, you'll be able to get to the very essence, to the ikar of Torah itself, the Torah the way it is in its source, which is the neisan Torah, not just the seichel of the Torah. Let's continue weiter inside. Sagt the Gemara, Margele b'pumi de Rav. This was customary for Rav to say. Loi kailam hazeh olam haba, the world that we're living in today. So Olam Haba is very different. Olam Haba, the world to come, aim by lo yachile, v'lo yishtia, there'll be no food, no drinking, lo piri v'ribya, no marital relations, v'lo masel matan, no business, lo kineh, v'lo sineh, v'lo tachris, no jealousy, no hatred, no competition. Ella, what will be then? Tzadikim yoshvin, v'atriseyim, bereishayim, tzadikim will sit with crowns on their heads, v'nenem is and they will derive benefit from the ray of Hashem's presence. Shenemar, as it says, vayachzu es ha'olikim, and they see the revelation of godliness, vayoichlu, vayishtu, and they eat. In other words, they derive benefit from the revelation of Hashem. This Gemara is a famous Gemara because of the famous machlokes that there is between the Rambam and the Ramban. The Ramban in Hilchos Tshuva proves from this Gemara that Olam Haba is a place of neshamas b'lei gufim. Because the Gemara here is explaining that it's a place where there's no eating, no drinking, and none of the bodily needs will be met, which means that there's no body.
This is Tchias HaMesim.
Not Tchias HaMesim, not referring to Tchias HaMesim. Olam Haba. The Rambam says from this Gemara you see that the ultimate purpose, the ultimate shleimus that a person will come to will be Olam Haba with neshamas b'lei gufim. Now the Ramban of course disagrees. The Ramban says no, Olam Haba is a place with neshamas b'gufim, and this Gemara is talking about Gan Eden, not about Olam Haba. And just one more point I'm going to say on this. This is a big harichis. I'm not going to go into it here now about harichis, but the Ramah, which is one of the Rishonim in Sanhedrin, which is the main place where it discusses the Inyanim of Yemaisa Mashiach, and the last parak of Sanhedrin says that the very source that Rambam brings to prove his point is a raya against him. Because if it in fact is a place where there is no physical body, why this whole harichis? As you just say, Olam Haba is a place where you have no body. So obviously there's no eating and drinking. The very fact that it says that there'll be no eating and no drinking, and it goes through all the details, is because there will be a physical body. But the chiddush then will be that the physical body will be able to survive without the eating and drinking that it needs. So this is the raya. Rashi is also mashma that way.
Because it's subtle.
Savum is zivashchina. So there'll be a physical body, but it'll be satisfied from a different source. As it says in Chassidus, the source of the energy of the body will be revealed, and therefore it will receive its energy directly from Hashem. So much so that even the neshama will receive its sustenance from the body. Neshama is zaynis min haguf. Yeah.
So you should be eating. That's the man of Gashmis.
No. It'll come directly from the Eibishter himself. Sagt die Gemara weiter, Gedoyla havtoche she'evtichen HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'noshim. What Hashem promises, what there is in store, the reward that there is in store for the women is greater, Yaiser min ha'anoshim, greater even than the men. Shenema, because of what it says in the pasuk regarding the women, la'asad lavai, noshim sha'ananais kumana, the women that are leaning and are comfortable, stand up. Shmana kaili, listen to my voice. Banais baitchais, the women that are assured and are comfortable with themselves. Hazeina imrasi, listen to my word. So we see that there's going to be a certain level of comfort that Hashem promises for the women that does not say by the men. What's the reason for this? Why are the women going to be zeiche to more schar than the men? What is the special zechus? What is the special merit that the women have? They bring their children to learn chumash, to learn Torah in the yeshiva, in the shul. And they encourage their husbands to go learn mishnayos, to go learn Torah in the bismedrish. And not only that, and they wait late for their men until they come back home. That's the schar that women have, even more than men, even more than learning Torah. That's the schar they have. Sagt die Gemara weiter, ki av mifterui rabbanon mi Rabami ve amrila mi Rab Chanina. When the rabbanon, when they finished the shir and they would go away from Rabami or from Rab Chanina, amrilei, they would say as follows. Amrilei hachi, they would say to them as follows. Elamcha tire bechayecha. You should see your world in your lifetime over here. Rashi says what that means is Hashem should provide for you everything you need here in this world. The end will be, the end should be that you have the life of Olam Haba. V'tikvascha, and your hope should be fulfilled for all future generations that you'll see. Lipcha yaget vuna, your heart should learn the wisdom of Torah. Picha yada b'chachmes, your mouth should speak wisdom. V'leshoincha yarchish nanais, your words should speak praises of Hashem. Afapecha yaishiru negdecha, your eyes should see straight matters in front of you. Rashi says that means that when you learn Torah, you should learn it according to the halacha, according to the psak din. Your eyes should shine with the light of Torah. Your face should shine like the shine of the heavens. Your lips should bring, should express only knowledge. And your kidneys should sing songs. And your footsteps, you should run to hear words from Atik Yaimin, which refers to the Eibishter, and Atik Yaimin, of course, refers to the greatest revelation of Atik, of Keser, the deepest revelation that will be when Mashiach comes. When the Rabbanim would depart from Rav Chisda, others say when they would depart from Rav Shmuel ben Achmeni, they would say as follows. They would quote the following pasuk: Alufeinu misubalim v'gaimer. Our masters are burdened. What does this mean? And the Gaimer, the rest of the pasuk, as we'll see soon, the Gemara will quote. Alufeinu misubalim, the meaning of this pasuk. Alufeinu misubalim is Rav Shmuel. V'amrila Rav Yechanan v'Rab Elazar. So there's an argument either between Rav and Shmuel or between Rav Yechanan and Rab Elazar. Chad Amar, one of them interpreted this pasuk as Alufeinu, our masters, means they are our masters b'Torah. They are our masters because of the Torah that they learn. U'mesubalim b'mitzvahs, and they are burdened by accepting the yoke of mitzvahs. Chad Amar, another opinion was Alufeinu, they are our masters, b'Torah u'b'mitzvahs, that they learn Torah and accept the mitzvahs upon them. And Misubalim, and they are burdened b'Yisurim, because of the suffering that they experience. Then that pasuk there continues, Ein peretz, should be no breach, Shaloi tehei siyaseinu kisiyasa shel David. Our group should not experience what was experienced by David. Sheyatza mimeno Achitophel, that he had a great advisor of Achitophel, but that Achitophel separated from him and he joined Avshalom, which rebelled against David HaMelech. And then that pasuk continues, Ve'en yotzis, nobody should leave us. Shaloi tehei siyaseinu kisiyasa shel Shaul. Our group should not experience what Shaul experienced. Sheyatza mimeno doeg adomi. He also had an advisor, doeg adomi, that also separated from him. And that pasuk concludes, Ve'ein tzvacha, there should be no tzvacha. You have a translation for tzvacha? No shouting or no outcry. Shaloi tehei, so what would be the outcry? Shaloi tehei siyaseinu kisiyasa shel Elisha, that our group should not experience what Elisha experienced, which is sheyatza mimenu Gehazi. We had earlier in the Gemara, Gehazi was a servant for Elisha, but then he went away and he behaved inappropriately. B'Rachai the last pasuk was B'Rachai in the streets. Shelo yehelanu benai talmud, that we should not have a son or a student shamagdiach tafshiloi berabim, that spoils his what he cooks in public. Which means, if you take a look here, and in some of the Gemaras, they quote it over here in the Hagaz v'Tziyunim, that in the original Ksav Yad, this is referring to Isaiah Ish, which went away from Yiddishkeit altogether and created his own religion. That's what it's referring to, Makdiach Tavshilei Berabim. Zok the Gemara weiter, it says in the pasuk, Shimu Elai, listen to me, Abirei Leiv, the ones that have strong hearts, Harachaikim Tzedakah, they are distant from Tzedakah. Who is this pasuk talking about? So the Gemara here will bring a few different interpretations. First, the Gemara is going to bring an interpretation that's positive, and then the Gemara will bring an argument that it's speaking about people in the negative. Rav Shmuel, V'amri Rav Yechon Rav Elazar. So the Gemara is bringing it here because it's the same Amirayim that we quoted before that argued about this pasuk. Chad Omar Kol Ha'olam Kuloi Nizam B'Tzedakah. One opinion is that what this pasuk is saying is the entire world is fed by Hashem as a kindness, as a righteousness. In other words, nobody could say that they are deserving. It's Hashem's kindness. But v'heim, these great tzaddikim, these are birei leiv that are so powerful, these great tzaddikim, nizaynim b'zraya, they could demand to be fed because they deserve it. They have the schus. That's one shot. V'chad Omar, another opinion, it's also speaking about tzaddikim. Kol ha'olam kuloi nizaynim b'schusam. The entire world is being fed only in the schus of these great tzaddikim. And but v'heim, these are birei leiv, these great tzaddikim, afilu b'schus atzman ein nizaynin. They are not fed even in their own schus. K'de Rav Yehuda Amarav, as Rav Yehuda Amarav said, the Amar Rav Yehuda Amarav, b'chol yoyim v'yoyim, every single day, baskel yitzis mahar chayriv. There's a baskel that emanates from har chayriv, a medicine that says, kol oilam kulei nizaynin, the whole entire world that gets fed, that has their sustenance, and that has their parnasa, is b'shvil chanina b'ni, is all on the merit of Rab Chanina ben Daisa, which was the Rebbe, which was the great sage in his times. The Chanina b'ni, and Chanina, my child, dailoi bekav charuvin. For him it's sufficient to have a kav, a certain measurement of charuvin, of karib, of boxer in Yiddish, a karib, me'erev Shabbos le'erev Shabbos, from week to week, and he would hardly have any food to eat for himself, even though the entire world is being fed through Rab Chanina. Now, Pliga that Rav Yehuda, these two interpretations of this pasuk that were in the positive are arguing on the opinion of Rav Yehuda that explains this pasuk in the negative. Now, Rav Yehuda said, "Man abirei leiv." When it says here in the pasuk abirei leiv, the people that have strong hearts, who is it referring to? It's referring to people that their heart is strong, their heart is stubborn, and they don't get inspired. And therefore, the Gemara says it refers to gevoi tipshoi, the foolish gevainim. The Gevainim are the individuals that came and fooled Yeshua when they wanted to come and convert to Yiddishkeit, and they didn't disclose to him that they are Canaanim. And then Yeshua converted them, and then he realized who they were. And then he sort of separated them from Klal Yisrael, and they became water carriers and wood choppers. And these foolish Gevainim, they lived amongst the Yidden for many, many years. But even after all these years, they didn't convert to Yiddishkeit, even after seeing the greatness of Klal Yisrael. Amar Rav Yosef, Teida, if you want to see to prove to you the foolishness of these Gevainim, not even one individual of them converted to Yiddishkeit, even though they were in Eretz Yisrael amongst Yidden. They saw the greatness of Yidden, and not even one of them converted. That's how stubborn their hearts were. Rav Ashi said a similar thing in his lifetime. B'nei Masa Machasya, the people of the city Masa Machasya, Abirei Leiv, also have a very stubborn heart. Abirei Leiv Nino. The Kachazu Yukara Dairaisa, they see the glory of Torah, Trei Zimni B'Shata, twice a year, and Ashi explains, this refers to the month of Elul, so first the month of Adar and the month of Elul, which were the 2 months that everybody came to gather in the city of Masa Machasya to hear and learn Torah, the halachas pertaining to Pesach in the month of Adar, and the halachas pertaining to the Yomim Tovim in the month of Elul, and there was a massive gathering of people. And Taisus actually adds to that. Taisus brings a very interesting thing from one of the Rishonim, that he says he heard, in the Taisus Trei Zimni B'Shata, Taisus there says that he heard, Shaya Omud Shel Eish Yoyed Min HaShamayim Aleim. There was a pillar of fire that descended from heaven because of the greatness of the Yidden that were learning Torah in that time. There was a pillar of fire that came down from heaven. Yeah, the Shleishim Yom, correct. And the Goyim that lived there in the city of Masa Machasya and saw this, and not even one of them was inspired to convert to Yiddishkeit. So that shows how stubborn their heart is. The Abirei Leiv, that are the Chaykim Mitzedakah, they stay distant from the righteousness that there is amongst Yidden. The Gemara concludes over here the Pedic with the last point that we learned in the Mishnah. So what did it say in the Mishnah? That a chassan that wants to say Kriya Shema on the night of his chassanah, where he's exempt to say Kriya Shema, so not everybody could come and say that he could say Kriya Shema, because not everybody could know that Itaka has the ability to say Kriya Shema. And if a chassan says he wants to say, it may just be, as Rashi over here says, it's just he's being a balgaiva. It's just his ego that he wants to say Kriya Shema, but not necessarily could he have the kavanah. So not everybody could do this. That was whose opinion? Who was saying this in our Mishnah? Rab Shimon ben Gamliel. The Tanna Kama said anybody that wishes to say Kriya Shema could say. Rab Shimon ben Gamliel says no, not everybody may do this because it could just be gaiva, and not everybody could have the kavanah. So now the Gemara explains. L'meimre, shall we say, the Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel chayish liyura. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel is concerned for yura, for a person expressing his gaiva. V'Rabbanon lo chayish liyura, and Rabbanon are not concerned for the yura, for the gaiva. We find in another place a halacha that says the opposite. We learned in a Mishnah regarding Tisha B'Av. If you're in a place where the custom of the place is to do a malacha on Tisha B'Av, so then you do malacha. If you're in a place where the custom is not to do any work on Tisha B'Av, so then you don't do any work. Then the Mishnah continues, in any place, Talmidei Chachamim betelim. The Talmidei Chachamim are batul. The Talmidei Chachamim don't work on Tisha B'Av. Rab Shimon ben Gamliel says, La'olam yaseh kol adam es atzmei ketalmid chacham. Not only the Talmidei Chachamim, but any individual could consider himself and act like a Talmid Chacham on the level of a Talmid Chacham, and therefore not do work on Tisha B'Av. So here we see the exact opposite. Kashye de Rabbanan de Rabbanan. This is a contradiction from the opinion of the Rabbanan here to the opinion of the Rabbanan there. Over here, the Rabbanan said anybody can take that level and say, I'm going to say Kriya Shema on the night of my chasana, and there it says only Talmidei Chachamim should not work on Tisha B'Av. And also, Kashi de Rab Shimon ben Gamliel ad Rab Shimon ben Gamliel. In our Mishnah, Rab Shimon ben Gamliel says that not anybody could act like on the level where he's not going to say Kriya Shema. And there he says everybody should act like a Talmid Chacham and not work on Tisha B'Av. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, the first answer of the Gemara is Muchlefes Hashita. We're going to have to switch one of these Mishnayos. So this same sugya you have also in the Gemara in Pesachim, I believe it is, And there Rashi says, the Gemara doesn't say which, but one of these two Mishnayos, you're going to have to switch the order of the statement of who said what to make their opinions fit with each other. Rav Sheisha Berei Ravidi Yomar, Rav Sheisha Berei Ravidi suggests another answer. You can't compare the case of saying Kriya Shema to the case where we're talking about not working on Tisha B'Av. What's the difference? Lo'elam loy tachlif. You don't have to change the opinions. The contradiction in the opinion of the Rabbanan is not a question. Why not? Kriya Shema. When it comes to Kriya Shema, Rabbanan held we're not concerned about the person sticking out, by the person having gaiva. Why not? Even the Kul Alma Kakoru. Everybody is saying Kriya Shema. He's getting married, but everyone else is saying Kriya Shema. And he's saying Kriya Shema along with them. So he doesn't stick out in that sense as much, just not so much of a gaiva. However, over here in that, or Hassam, over there in that Mishnah where it talks about not working on Tisha B'Av, Kivin the Kula Alma Avdi Malacha, if he's in a place that it's customary for everybody to work, Vihiu like Havid, and he acts differently and he refrains from working on Tisha B'Av, Mechsikiyura, that's very noticeable. So that shows his gaivas. So over there the Rabbanan said that it's only for Talmidei Chachamim. Now we could answer the contradiction of Rav Shimon ben Gamliel's opinion, and Rav Shimon ben Gamliel has an opposite way of looking at it. Like Kashya, it's not a contradiction. Hasam, or actually Hacha, the other Girsa. Here in our Mishnah, when we're talking about Kriya Shema, Bekavone Talya Milsa. When it comes to Kriya Shema, we're not talking about an activity. We're talking about saying Kriya Shema, where you have to concentrate on the at least on the first pasuk, or maybe even more, on what you're saying in Kriya Shema. Va'anan Sahadi, we can testify the Limotzi Lechavoni Daite, that a person that's getting married and is preoccupied does not necessarily have that ability to do so. So the only reason this person is saying Kriya Shema is because of his gaiva, because he knows he can't have the kavana. Aval hacha,
He knows he can. He
knows
knows he can have the
can't. He knows he can't, and he's only doing it out of gaiva.
He feels he could.
He feels not necessarily. He's only doing it to express his gaiva. Aval hacha, however, by the din of Tisha B'Av, Haraya Oimer, the person that sees that he's not working, it doesn't stick out that much. Why? Because the person that sees this will say, Malachu Deinloi, he has no work. He's unemployed. Puk Chazi, go and see. Kama Batlani, Ikibishuke. How many people are sitting in the marketplace and have no work? So it doesn't stick out. Hadran Allah Chayakaida. Okay.